Welcome to Real Police Talk. We are happy to be joined by Chris, a retired bobby from a Midlands force. Neil and Chris worked together on and off for 21 years, and this is the first time they have spoken about the job, or seen each other for 6 years more or less. Let's listen to what they say from their time in the police. Warning, contains bad language. Please like, subscribe and follow for more videos, interviews and true stories from the world of policing. Mr. Chris Smith is with us today. We were colleagues for how many years? 21 years we worked together. We had some laughs along the way, as well as some horrible jobs that we went to during our police careers. What did you do before you joined the job?
Lots of things, really. I was a fire prevention engineer in Barcelona at one point.
Barcelona?
Yeah, worked out there as a young man in the early 90s. Done engineering, lots of boring stuff, but yeah, I was, believe it or not, I used to work in a gym. You laugh at
Nothing.
I was about...
You used to work for Jim?
Jim's calf. I was about 12 stone back then. Just to let you know, I'm 18 stone now, which is probably about what you are.
That's what retirement does for you.
Yeah. So yeah, I've done lots of things, just to get you through, really. I worked for a company called No Fear, which was at Tamworth. I think you probably know.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked there with an American company for about 6 or 7 years before I joined the police, and that was quite a good job, to be fair. I enjoyed that, meeting all the sports stars like young Lewis Hamilton and a lot of the Aussie and New Zealand rugby players. And
oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what made you join the police?
I got kicked in the head by a horse. I have no idea. I think it was just, I was talking to my mate John. You know Finny, don't you? I know.
Yes, I do.
Me and him, there's a good story to that, actually. We was just having a chat, and we both went through the PIR test, the police initial recruitment test.
Together?
Well, John went first.
Yeah.
And I went about 6 months after, but because he failed on one part of it, which was quite amusing, I got 6 months ahead of him in the police, so...
Wasn't the maths he failed on, was it?
No, it was height. It was the story was quite funny because he did the whole police initial recruitment test, and he did really well past that bit. And it came to the letter writing. If you remember rightly, you had to
write a letter. Yeah.
Pretend to write a letter to the chief saying about, I want a second job. Well, John had drafted it out in crayon or pencil over it. Probably crayon, purple crayon. He loves eating them. And they went, right now, okay, that's it. Put your pens down. And he'd written it in pencil. And he was like, I thought I had more time. So from then on, I was always 6 months ahead of John, so I could have a little bit of fun when it came to role plays and stuff when we were at the big house.
Yeah. So he looked like a 6-year-old had written this letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just imagine him like not being able to see what he's writing as well.
He's going to be.
Well, I'm half an inch taller than him in height, so I'm his lanky mate.
The recruitment process then was, I believe, a lot more difficult than what it is now.
Yeah.
Because I remember having to do as many press-ups as you can in a minute, as many sit-ups.
Yeah.
You used to be able to have to swim.
Yeah, grip test.
Jump. Standing jump.
They'd hear me now, it'd be on the Richter scale.
Same here, mate.
Yeah, press-ups, sit-ups, and there was a bleep test as well, which...
Yeah, which was hard, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd have dropped it now to something stupid where I think you finish while you're still walking. So it's just them standards. I think have gone with the requirement of how to get in.
Well, I think there were 3 or 4 fitness tests during that.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, they kept monitoring you all the way through to see if you were getting
sort of like, I remember the guy's name, I could see him in my head. He was a cross runner, wasn't he?
Alan.
No, the other one. He lived in one of the villages down the road, but he was a crossfell runner, and he was as fit as a...
That's just sick, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he was about 70 and could run about 15 mile in 3 seconds. He was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I hate him, whoever he is.
Yeah, but he treated you like you needed to be at his standard, and it was really difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got proper beasted.
And pies.
So you joined the job.
Yeah.
Was it you say? Was any of your mates on your intake? Would you say he was 6 weeks behind you? He was 6 weeks.
John was 6 weeks behind me, but my intake was a really good intake. I had a lot of cracking people on there. You know, you knew that the girls were feisty as well, and you know, in a position. I think 5 went to the north and 10 went to the south, or vice versa. And everybody we had would, you know, be able to, you know, you knew that when you did your what did they used to call it when you used to do your police combat training?
Oh, your OST.
OST, yeah.
Yeah.
And they would try and make a point of
Making
boosting
sure
you,
that
yeah.
they were level with you.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I enjoyed that side of it. There was some good trainers as well, so
Well, I think that's what I've said in my interview. You know, that initial joining the police and them first few years were fantastic.
yeah.
But as with you, which I dare say we'll come on to, it was probably the best thing I ever done that ended up being the worst thing I did.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I speak to the girls about. I've got 3 beautiful daughters, and I mean they can see the difference in me. And you know, I'm not going to lie. You know, I will say that it cost me my marriage.
Yeah.
Being in the police, without a shadow of doubt.
Because Bobby's the same. Yeah.
You are not the same person.
No.
You know, and people need to think about that before they join. That, you know, not only are you knackered all the time, especially with the shifts we used to do to start off with.
They were all over the place.
All over the shop. Yeah, and you go from earlys to nights and have like, you'd sleep and then you'd have like a day and a half before you did a run of 7 again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
There was years that I never saw the family. Years, really,
Yeah.
that you never had any quality time with family because it was all about the job.
Well, back in the day as well, I don't know whether it's the same with you over at Coastal, but the older Bobbies would have the first pick-up when they had the holidays as well.
Exactly.
So they were first... I've been in 20 years, I'm having Christmas off.
That's right.
Which, when someone's got young kids, you should take a bit of a back step there and go, let them up. Which is what we did as you know, time went on.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got kids, you're entitled to.
I think there was 8 years on the run where I didn't have a Christmas morning with the girls, and the one time I did, I mean, it was ridiculous. I got a phone call from resources saying, "You've been ordered in," and I says, "Well, I'm on my own. I've got 3 girls Christmas Day." "No, you're ordered in. The inspector says you've got to come in." And I says, "Well, get him to phone me then." And he never did. But the last words they said to me was, "It's an official order. You're in." And I think we had to get my mum to delay a trip or something to, but my mum had them, and then when I got in, and in the January, I found out that the resources girl had asked politely all the ones she knew, and they said, "Oh no, I've got to go out or whatever," and then she was like, "Oh, it's fine," and then when she got more and more desperate at the end, it was "You're in." You know, which again, things like that, they just stick in you.
Well, yeah, because they were. It was back then. It was a lot of. Well, it still is. It's all about who you know.
Oh God, yeah.
And where they used to have the duties, which were based at a station in the north, weren't they? They knew everybody, and they knew who would do the overtime, so they always got the first call.
Yeah.
You know, no matter. We know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They used to always get the first call to go in and do the overtime, and everybody else missed out because it was favouritism.
Yeah.
But I get that. I get a lot of, you know, life is all about who you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to a point where it causes you major problems mentally, and it causes you major problems with your family and everything else. I just think it's totally wrong. But it's a culture that never changed, and I still believe it hasn't changed.
No, it's definitely, there's clicks.
Oh, massive.
Yeah.
Massive. What do you think about, I know we're probably jumping the gun a bit, but while it's in my head...
It's the first tea you've ever made me, by the way.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
That's okay. No problem. I haven't had much practice. You've thrown me again. It's Masonic input into the police.
I imagine there's still plenty of it goes around.
I think without a doubt, I think
Little funny handshake brigade.
I think it plays a major part still. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I've seen in the news recently with the Met how Masonic influences are still part of policing, and I truly believe that, only because of my own experiences within the problems that were caused to me in the last few years.
Yeah, well, I always thought it was a little bit of the secret society. I wouldn't have anything, I wouldn't have any dealings with it. But I've had plenty of handshakes where they've done the handshake, and on the first time I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have a clue, and I certainly don't want to be joining any.
Oh God, no.
Cults or...
Yeah, I know, but it's a shame that it's in the job, because I think that's where it breaks down. That's where your favours come in, and that's where people who shouldn't be in the job are still in the job, and people that should be in the job are not in the job anymore.
Yeah, I think that was quite prominent where you worked as well, wasn't it?
Oh, massive.
Yeah. I think probably more so than where I was, but there was definitely some wealthy people that were influencing people.
Oh, exactly. And again, we could talk all day about that, but
One of them went down for a while, didn't he?
One of them went to prison, yeah. And that individual had a massive influence over policing in that area.
Absolutely, I know exactly who you're on about.
And that ain't right.
No.
That's not right, And maybe they say, oh, it's changed because, he got caught and he went to prison, whatever. But could you imagine if he never got caught? Mm-hmm. Would he still have that influence? Would he still be doing what he used to do?
Yeah, they'll do it till they get caught, won't they?
Yeah.
Well, they don't think they're ever going to get caught, but...
No. I know there's a few things you want to talk about with regards to... it's not so much political. It's about, your individual experiences.
Yeah, it touches on political, but
yeah. And because I've been there as well, I can understand, and I dare say there's a lot of people out there who well, I know there is. I've seen them. I've read their posts or whatever. But is there, when you first joined, did any of that ever cross your mind all the way through to where you started to become ill?
I don't think you're in a trough until you're climbing out of it. I think there was certain things in my personal life that happened which definitely contributed to not being the same person you were. You get that like joy sucked out of you type of thing. And it's like you say, you don't know, but people notice, friends notice. You keep yourself.
That was my issue.
Yeah, you don't want to be associated with, like a works do, or it becomes really hard work. Even though when you're there, you're surrounded by people that are great. But I think just wanted to like mothball yourself and just not have anything to do with that.
It was difficult though, wasn't it? To stay out of those things, and I think as time went on, it became more and more clear to me that, somebody described it absolutely perfect to me. They said that the office where we didn't finish our career there, but the office where, we worked closely together and we had some good results and worked well, was at one of the bigger stations, and somebody described it perfectly to me. They said it was like a Serengeti watering hole. He says you've got your people who are just having a drink, you know, going about their business, and then under the water you've got these crocodiles who are just waiting and waiting,
Yeah.
just to take your face off.
And again, before I forget, because I was thinking about this morning, you can have the most loyal, you know, person with you who is you don't even have to look, you know where they are, and as soon as they get those pips,
Oh God, yeah.
the difference, it's like the Kevin and Perry where he turns midnight as a teenager.
Yeah.
You put the pips on and like that, and it just changes them as people, and you cannot trust those people.
No, you can't anymore.
And there are definitely people that are wearing pips that should never be wearing pips.
Well, I don't understand half of it. I really don't.
It baffles me, you know. And my outlet is talking to my daughters, and I'll probably chew the rear more than I should, but I'm forever going, how the hell is that prick?
Well, I feel sorry for my therapist, because my therapist gets a lot of it, because I still have therapy every week, but because of the fucking job. But it's I must chew her ear off about the most stupid thing. She must sit there and think,
What's my next appointment? Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's him
Fucking
again.
hell.
But even talking like this makes me feel better, because it makes me listen to. It makes me feel like I'm not the only one.
Oh, there's loads. There's
Because you do
more
feel
than you know.
isolated.
I think everybody that's got a certain length of time in they have to have some sort of PTSD. They have to. You see more death than most people ever do in the army. There's only really paramedics that would, and you know, people that are like palliative care and stuff would see more death than you.
No.
You know, you could go to 3 or 4. I mean, Finney went to 3 in a day.
Yeah.
And did he get a debrief?
No.
Never had one.
I don't know whether that's changed now, but you know, when we were young and whatever, in our 30s, we were sort of like doing these jobs one after the other,
Yeah.
when it was just flat out every day. And just as it is for most bobbies now, you know, and I do feel sorry for them. But some of the things you go to, you just think to yourself, what the fucking hell?
How?
Yeah.
How was that happen?
And then one day you wake up and you think, you know, fucking hell, you know, I'm my head's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're at either burnout or you're at a point of, like you said, doing something that you don't realise you're doing, something that makes you not realise until somebody goes, "Are you all right?"
Yeah.
And that's usually a mate.
Yeah,
who
it's
says that.
normally a close mate.
Yeah.
And they go.
And they're a bit concerned, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, and it shouldn't be like that, because I was ill for 2 years before I knew I was ill.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you just plod on, you just carry on, excuse the pun. And I dare say you were the same.
Yeah. My biggest problem, I think, for the whole of my career, and all people that know me listening to this will go, yeah, definitely. I was shit at paperwork. Awful. You knew it as a skipper.
Yeah.
My 2 sergeants I ended up with at SNT, and my long-suffering one at my main station, who was in the band with me.
Yeah.
Bless him. We're sort of making it a conscious, not to give places and names, but people that know us will definitely know that my skipper.
It wasn't one of your stronger points. However, what you did bring to the table.
It was awful.
Yeah, but what you did bring to the table, you know, we were all different, you know, people with regards to strengths and weaknesses, and that goes through the whole of everything, and that was everybody in the job.
I was forever asking people, and there were some people that were like, "Oh, for God's sake, how many times have we gone through this?" Which you could understand them. And the station we were both at that got knocked down, right? That was like Life on Mars, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it was,
actually, both stations were like Life on Mars, where it was full of people that had either been put there because they were a bit cheeky, a bit naughty, and it was like a punishment. But it turned out to be the best punishment you could ever have. You try asking them how to do that, you know, like one of the new systems. Oh, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Go and ask someone who.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, file building and all that was never my strength. But like I say, some people were great.
Yeah, but what you did bring to the job, you used to make everybody smile. You used to make everybody, enjoy being at work.
Darts champion.
Darts champion. You were good thief taker.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to come on to because
the trouble is, when you brought them back to the Nick and booked them into custody,
yeah,
and then you had to sit down and do the paperwork,
I know.
You just grumbled.
But a lot of the time, I would have to bring them to you,
Yeah.
and that was when I would wind you up.
Yes, I know. But
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's all part of the job.
If someone was wanted and had been after them for ages, I would always get the call. Can you go and get such and such in? Which is great because if you're taking thieves and burglars and stuff, that's what I love doing. But when you're being ridiculed by people coming up going, God, he's shit at paperwork, how's he in a fucking job like that? But then I think the other way around, where I think you couldn't wrestle this guy.
Oh, they would
have to send 2 or 3 people with you to do it. Yeah. So
and they'll be last in the door.
Last in the door. Yeah. Whereas when we did MOE, which is method of entry, you put the door in and you deal with it. I mean, we've had colleagues that have had guns pointed at them and hit with weight training bars and all sorts. Had the teeth put in. For all the mocking I get off my friends at my local pub, which I do. They won't see that side of it, and they won't see the side of, going in where someone's been dead for 3 months, like me and Jace did. I mean, when someone falls in half, when they're over the bath, and the headless people, and dead kids. Yeah. You say dead kids in a fashion like, but straight away that triggers. You can feel it trigger, can't you?
Of course you can.
And that's something that those images will never.
No, they'll never leave you.
Never leave my head.
But at the time, they were put to the back of the head, and you did your job. You did it professionally. You did it the best you could.
Before you were a sergeant, how many? I mean, you were sergeant for quite a long time, though, weren't you? Mm. How many debriefs did you ever remember having?
What, after people?
Have been like dead in cars and.
I'll be honest. I probably count on one hand. Yeah. And they were usually young people that I had to sit down and have a chat with.
Yeah.
Because it is easy to fall into that trap of, say, somebody with your experience when you've been, say you'd been to a job and you come into the Nick. I wouldn't. It was a difficult thing because, firstly, I'd probably ask if you were all right, but in a jovial manner. But I wouldn't want to insult you by saying, coming in and shut
I think
the door,
that's the macho side of it still, isn't
it?
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
You don't want to ask for help.
And, a lot of people as well, our generation of people, we tend to deal with things on our own, mm-hmm. which, okay, we know now is a big mistake. Maybe. But at the time it wasn't.
Yeah. Different culture, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's gone too far the other way now.
Well, it definitely changed since I went in. When did I leave? 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So, just pre-COVID, I left.
Yeah, I left after COVID, but it was a difficult time. It was a difficult time, and one that I still try and block out my memory.
I can see it in your face now.
Yeah, it's hard, and I still haven't put it to bed, really, to be honest, because I did love my job. I loved it. I loved it to that point where I then went from love to hate.
Yeah.
I hated everybody in the job.
Well, one of the things I got diagnosed with, because during COVID I was allowed to travel down to Worcester to see this doctor, Dr. Lavis, her name is. Brilliant, where we discussed everything. But it was 12 appointments, so I did 6 appointments and doubled them up because of the travelling. They wanted you to do less travelling, obviously, with COVID. And I think these 2-hour sessions, she was building up a picture of what she thought what, you know, they're obviously diagnosed with anxiety, depression, there's going to be people listening to this, some old bobbies that go, fuck it, everyone's got it. I was all right. I did okay, but you know, and if you bust your shoulder, you put a sling on it. Here, you know, it's completely different. Once it goes, it's a struggle.
It opens a lot of things and a lot of bad memory.
Yeah. And one of the things she diagnosed me with, this thing that I've never heard of before, was called embitterment disorder, which is you've got like you start to detest certain things about it. So I avoid going past my old main police station, the new police station up north. I avoid going past it because I can feel palpitations when I go past. And for someone that's played rugby and football and, you know, enjoyed a tear up, to have that, it's like a sign of weakness, isn't it? That's how you equate it to yourself.
As blokes that grew up in the 80s, it is 70s and 80s. It is a sign of weakness.
I couldn't imagine talking to my mates when I was 19 and going, could you imagine in the future if I got PTSD when I was having nightmares like a baby every night and getting to sleep at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock, because one of the neighbours started his motorbike up. So you're still on, not only are you on shifts still, which take ages to get out of your system, you're also trying to deal with your demons that you've got.
Exactly, and you know, the people that I speak to now still are trying to get to the bottom of, try and help me put that away.
Yeah.
But I think it got to a point with myself, as I know he did with you, Chris, was a point of, you know, suicidal thoughts, which is not nice to think about when we've got family.
Yeah.
But that's how far, and that's what people don't realise, how far we were pushed.
Yeah. We
were pushed to the limit. And, you know, and for that, my hatred, which is, I know is a strong word, but it's absolutely true, of those people who put me through that, will never go away. And
we mentioned before the camera went on that we don't give a shit about the job. We care about the people that are joining it still, and that was one thing we, you know, when we were skylarking earlier on. But
absolutely,
absolutely,
and I do feel sorry for some of these people that have gone through. But you know, what can you do? I hope the right stuff is in place for them to be able to deal with that. It is difficult for me to talk about work and stuff, but I know deep down in the long run it's also good as well.
Well, this will be helping you, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping it's helping you as well, mate.
Get a few things off your chest. And
because, you know, 15 years, 18 years of our career, you know, we did nothing but laugh, did we?
Oh God, yeah, it was a good crack.
You know,
but there were still signs there. But we did. I mean, you think of all the old bobbies that are retired and still in the job. Every one of those was a massive character.
Oh yeah. It takes a certain sort of person.
Absolutely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It takes a certain sort of person.
And the specials as well. That's and you know, they're easily overlooked, but the specials and the PCSOs that we worked with.
Oh,
shout out to my first Ash.
Yeah.
What a fantastic group. I can't. There's a few which I'm obviously not going to go into that are just utter snakes, and they know who they are. And after reading the emails that they'd sent, you know, with the Freedom of Information Act and stuff, it's fucking sick making.
Yeah,
sick making.
It
and
is,
they wouldn't trust them again.
No. I mean, it just makes you more angry.
Yeah,
but it's because it's all bullshit, and I think that's the thing that got me. Was the amount of bullshit and witch hunts that went on.
Yeah.
Because I saw that from both sides. One, when it was for somebody else, witch hunts, like, with people saying to me, you know, we wrote this statement, will you sign it? Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're
speaking to the wrong fucking bloke,
There was one at a Christmas party, weren't there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That's probably the one you're talking about, where they went, no matter what, you're putting a statement in.
Yeah.
And
Don't
I was
fucking
like,
think so,
I put a statement in going, I was pissed and saw nothing and signed it. What else do you want me to? What else do you want me to say? In fact, I was singing at that do, I think, when I.
Yeah, you was, yeah. There was another one as well, though. Wasn't there after that? No, before that, there was another one. But that's cops going out and letting loose and enjoying each other's company. They don't do anything wrong, as in, you know, assault people, start fights, cause trouble. But, you know, the slightest thing, you know, something could be said to somebody, and then all of a sudden it's this mass problem.
Implosion of...
And then the PSD, you know, professional standards, I don't mind saying professional standards, are as fucking corrupt as anybody I've ever known, because they will concentrate on a fucking witch hunt, and then you sign a piece of paper that says, oh, we're just going to deal with this and nothing else, and they fucking dig your life upside down.
Yeah.
And then they take you to a certain eye and they just fucking drop you.
Yeah.
And
again, it's the people that they're trying to get rid of is themselves, because they're the one. Remember the milk tray man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these people won't know, but
yeah, yeah.
Everybody in the area where I worked would know.
Yeah.
It makes you laugh.
It does, and
but it drives you mad at the same time.
No, that's right, and I think, you know, it's a subject that could go on for hours and hours, and it's probably a subject that we could talk about, not us personally, but you could talk about with every single bobby of our age and service that have gone through some sort of something similar.
Yeah.
Those that aren't in cliques and stuff.
I think we were lucky, because when we joined, I know that every generation of police officer goes, oh, my generation was better than mine. I think when we joined around the 2000s, that was the last best time to be a bobby.
Well, we were taught by the old boys, weren't we?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And
when policing was policing.
I went on to a shift where I trusted everybody implicitly, and they wouldn't go until the work was done. They wouldn't leave you in the lurch.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Two sergeants as well.
Yeah.
Two sergeants that
was right.
Would do things in pen and pencil instead of having to do it on the computer.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly, and they'd have a word in your ear instead of fucking recording it.
Or a clip around the ear.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah. I got it on the hand with a roller, driving and all sorts, yeah. What you touching the gear stick for? Whack! Fucking
bless him.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
God rest him. Yeah.
But no, it's difficult to talk about, but it's also refreshing to talk about with somebody. And I really appreciate your time with you know, having that little, I'd say whinge and moan, but I know for a fact that there are thousands of bobbies out there that are going through the same thing.
And retired.
And who have been forced out of the job as part of some sort of in-house witch hunt.
Compromise them, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody's, you know, there's that old saying, wasn't it? You know, when you used to say to a gaffer, you know, you want to check the property store in the lost and found, and they'd say, well, I say, because your fucking backbone's in there, apparently.
Yeah.
Because they just wouldn't, you know, there's no backing up anybody now. There's no support of my Bobby's made the right decision. You know, yes, you've probably hurt your arm, or you've probably, I'm sorry, member of the public, you know, you've got a black eye because...
You're a dick.
Yeah, because you tried to fucking...
punch a copper in the head.
Punch a copper.
That's what's going to happen,
what do you
isn't
expect? And you're covered by law for that. But as soon as that complaint comes in, to do with me,
yeah,
PSD, and then they fucking make your life a misery.
Yeah.
You know, how you can suspend somebody for 6 months. This didn't happen to me or you, but other people, they get suspended for 6 months on full fucking pay. and they do not give a shit what that person is going through during them
Yeah.
6 months. Oh, we've assigned a welfare officer. Fuck off. That's because, you know, to get up to his next rank, he's got to look after somebody.
He needs to tick some boxes on his
Of course he does. It's all bollocks. mate. It's
PDR,
all
whatever
bollocks.
it is.
And it's a broken system. Anyway, that's our gripe.
My final gripe before
Absolutely. It's your
is
interview, man.
the way I was treated after I'd was put out to pasture.
Yeah.
The process of the forced medical examiner being passed to the SNP, you know, the practitioner,
The
and
selected medical
selected
practitioner.
medical
yeah.
practitioner,
Yeah.
and how the lack of support from the federation, which was non-existent for me. So on my final appeal, there was 3 like top psychiatrists, you know, top of the with this. I think he's finished with who we were with now. This doctor saying that you don't deserve to have a injury on duty. So he's gone through all my paperwork and he's gone, you're not worthy of having an injury on duty. So you appeal it, which takes 20 weeks. They come back, you have this appeal where they sit round, and then they go, actually, we found this. He is worthy of it because his injuries, like the broken ankles and, you know, the incidents that he dealt with that's caused him to go wibble, let's just say, 'cause everyone uses that, don't they? He is worthy of an injury on duty. So it takes another 20 weeks then for him to compile a report. And then the report comes back, well, if I have to give him an injury on duty, he's going to have level 1. Okay? So the person that didn't think I was worthy of it was then put in charge of what level I was on. So he's obviously going to go, well, you have nothing or the lowest, aren't you? So then it was another 20 weeks, appeal. So I've had to sit with the same people, go back into Birmingham and sit with all these people, go through the trauma of bringing it all up again.
Fucking hell.
For them to go, actually, you've given him level 1, you're wrong. Basically, they told him he was incompetent. And I think that's not with it now.
Yeah. Is that because you think he's led by the police?
So I've no doubt that he was brought in to save money.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind. Whether I'm wrong or not, I don't give a shit what the police think.
I think they are.
Oh, well, yeah, I do.
You know, HR have got this this thing where they have to submit an injury on duty to a meeting with gaffers.
Well, I didn't have any HR. I didn't have any. I say it was me, myself, and I. You know, there was no one allowed. I could have had someone in with me, but they would have to be completely impartial. But even though going in on your own and having to like experience everything coming, you know, when you have to dig deep,
absolutely.
it knackers you for a couple of weeks. You're on.
It does, mate. It does. Yeah, it does. And I was exactly the same as you. It was me.
Yeah.
I had no help. Even took the job to court with no help at all. It was just me, and it was my pure focus of hatred for how they'd made me as a person in the end that drove me through that process of a 12-month tribunal.
Yeah.
For them to settle on the day of court.
Yeah.
And it just made me more and more, you know...
embittered.
That's probably a nice way of putting it, yeah. Probably a nice way of putting it. But we've come out the other side. We are away from the nastiness, the bullshit, the rumours, everything else. And we live life now, well, no, you do, with a fuck 'em attitude, which is a great attitude to have, mate.
I get up when I get up.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Concentrate on my
family.
3 girls.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fair
And
play.
I go out on a Friday night, every Friday night at my local, which is the best local, by the way.
You can
Up the spread at Polesworth. And Yeah, I act like a 16-year-old. I just get plastered. Live music.
Excellent. Hopefully I'll get there one day.
I'm absolutely sure you will, because I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you down there.
Thanks, mate. I look forward to that.
But I don't want this to appear like, it's just a moaning session. It's not. I think 99% of the people I've worked with have been absolutely brilliant, and I've worked with some big,
Fantastic.
tough old boys, and I've worked with the tiniest of little people who have as much fight in them as the big people do, and it's
not all bad.
No.
We've just had bad experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
With the organisation. But it's important for us to talk about it. But I totally agree with you. There is 90% of the people that you work with are
And I think
absolute legends.
the vast majority of the people I've ever dealt with in the police outside, the people
The
public,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh,
1% ruins it for everybody else.
yeah, of course they do. There's some lovely people out there. But also there's some fucking horrible people.
Mental.
Proper horrible people.
Yeah.
But there you go. And there's too many of them in the job.
Yeah.
And
They've
he
got
needs
to weed them
somebody-
out beforehand.
Yeah, but he needs somebody to have a fucking backbone, have a reality check, support their officers who are out doing a fantastic job,
Yeah.
and support them when it comes to things that, because people complain about fucking anything nowadays.
Yeah.
That Bobby's broke my fingernail. What are you going to do about it? Fuck off. That's what they need.
We've come more
Or trying
threatened
to make
by
complaints.
yeah. We're more threatened by words than we are.
Absolutely. And they've got to understand that policing is a difficult job. Policing is a job that's has its consequences for the people that are out committing crime.
Would you join again?
No, before.
No, I wouldn't. And my eldest Megan, she went through all the courses with my two old sergeants, and I talked her out of it.
Yeah. Well, my son's a sergeant for a local force, and I'm here for him if he needs me. It's his career choice, but he's joined a different culture of policing. So whereas I'd tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, can't do that anymore, Dad.
And there was plenty of that, weren't there?
Yeah. Well, this is it's probably too much of it.
Do you know what? There is so much that we can't say on camera, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is so much because of that life on Mars mentality.
Yeah, but it was a great way of policing because it worked. It worked.
Every Bobby had an area where they knew all the rat runs and all the shits.
Yeah.
Okay, and then where we were, they closed those stations down.
Yeah.
And then what happened? They got housing development for another 10,000 houses.
Yeah.
With no station there.
No.
So you're coming from another station, which is, if you had to go from the main reactive station where you left to the villages,
Yeah.
in February on an icy road,
Yeah.
it would take you 45 minutes to get to somebody that's having a red beanie.
I was victim of that. And it's on one of my podcasts that's coming out that I've already recorded. And it starts off with how my PTSD began. And that is exactly how it begins. Because after so much therapy, they break it down and they can virtually pinpoint, saying, right, this is where we think it started. And you don't know. But, yeah, dickheads in the job, too many of them.
Fuck them off.
But I remember one inspector, you'd know he was a fucking dickhead. I have no qualms in saying that, and everybody hated him. And I was the custody sergeant, and he came in, he transferred from another force.
Is this Locker Boy?
Yeah. And he came in from another force, and he came into custody, and he said to one of my jailers, one of the female jailers, he just looked at him and went, "Tea." and I'm sat there at my desk, and I looked at him. I said, "I beg your pardon." He said, "Tea. I want a cup of tea." And he'd aimed it at the female jailer, and she looked at me, and I said, "You fucking ask her nicely, and she might make you one, but I doubt it very much now." And he says, "Can I have a cup of tea?" And I said, "You're still not asking properly." And he said, "Can I have a cup of tea, please?" I've never met this bloke before.
I know you're on about, and he's an absolute bell sniff, isn't
Yeah, and he fucking... Anyway, she made him a cup of tea. And he'd do this over a few weeks. And then he came in once, and he came to me, because we didn't like each other. I fucking hated him. And, you know...
You weren't alone now, were you?
No, but the way he spoke to me, and the way he spoke to my colleagues, who I respected very much... you know, I just thought, you ain't worth shit on me shoe, mate. I don't care.
He ended up my shift inspector.
Yeah. And he said, I had this really, really fucking violent prisoner in cell number 2. And he was due for review. And any other inspector I'd have said, watch him, number 2, just use the hatch. It was like, he came in, bowling in, and he went, "Keys," just like that to me. I looked at him and I thought, "You here to review too?" And he said, "Yep." So I chucked him the keys, watched on the camera, and he opened the door, got the shit kicked out of him. Shut the door, coming all ruffled and stuff, and said, "You could have told me he was violent." I says, "Yeah, I could have, couldn't I?" Never mind.
Well, you got to have your PPE and your wits about you, aren't you?
Okay, right.
Oh, I know what you're on about.
Yeah. But that's...
They put him in charge of sorting out the lockers at the main hub.
Is that how good he was?
And it was his job for about, it must be 6 months.
He's actually
sending emails out about bloody lockers. And if you have a look up... Yeah, do you remember? And if you hadn't cleared it out, he was threatening you with discipline, you know. And there were some people, some bobbies had actually died.
Yeah, I know. And he was emailing.
And he was he was trying to email her. Where's this guy? Obviously, I'm not going to mention names. Where's this guy? Creme. You can't fucking...
But that's how good he was. The inspector,
boner.
looking after lockers and nothing else. What a twat. But no, we had
I hope
some
you
good
keep
times.
that bit in, because everybody at the north would know what
Oh
you're on
yeah,
about.
no, it's staying in. No, I don't think there's anything I'm going to edit out of this. To be fair, Chris, to be fair, because it's probably since I retired, it's probably the only open, honest conversation I've had with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's with you, mate, because you know we're similar backgrounds, similar everything. Is there anything in the job that you remember that he's not bad but good, that will stay with you forever?
Yeah. There was... We nicked a guy for in... It was when the paedophile predators first... You know, the shows where the paedophiles would get caught by these...
Oh, he had a show on Netflix, didn't he?
Yeah. And Finney was on the front of the...
That's
front
right,
of
yeah, the paedophile hunter.
I went with a young special at the time called Jess, who's now a full copper down in the Met, I think. Cracking girl.
Oh, so.
Yeah. And we had to nick this guy. And I said to her once, you've got to arrest him for inciting a child to engage in sexual activity and then cautioning. So she was in the back of the car, like, and she's getting prepared. And lo and behold, he was there, and we caught him. And she read it absolutely spot on. And I knew from that moment, and her dad was in the police as well, I knew from that moment she would be a cracking copper. And that's one of the things that stuck with me, because she got it out, got the caution out, and to see the colour come out of this grown man after being nicked by this petite little, special at the time, and he went, he deflated, and that was one bright moment in.
It's funny, isn't it, how little things like that stick with you?
Yeah, I mean, there's other things like Big John hitting his shoulder and the canal bridge and falling in on his police bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
As the bike's dropping,
Copper down.
the red light came on and flickered like the Titanic. And I've got to try and get this 20-stone copper out of the canal by hoisting him up.
But you can't do it because you're too busy laughing, ain't you?
Fucking pissed myself.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many. But it is the little things. I remember one of the lads, he was from down south, but he was one of the funniest blokes I'd ever met. Just gag after gag after gag. No matter what he was doing, he was hilarious. He was a bit like yourself, really, but he was a lot older. He was due to retire. And we paraded. It was late. I got a text. I'm late. I said, yeah, okay. Whatever. Anyway, buzz at the gate, the barrier at the nick. Somebody went, so just somebody at the gate for you. So I said, calling me on the buzzer. So I went over, picked up the phone and said, hello. He went, Sarge, it's Dave. I said, fucking hell, Dave. I said, you're 15 minutes late. I said, get your arse in the nick. He says, I need to go home. I said, why? He said, I've shit myself on my way here. And I remember just he was racing that quick to get to work that he'd followed through on his way.
And we've all done it. Ain't we?
Yeah.
Ain't we?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just tell you one more quick
Tell
one.
me plenty, mate.
It's about dogs.
Is it?
One of the bobbies, one of the old sweats at the station that's gone now, used to park his car right next to the gates and would leave his window open and he would leave his dog in it. I don't know whether you remember. Chev?
Yeah. Oh, for God, yeah.
He would leave his dog in the car, which isn't the best thing, but it weren't too hot, and he'd go and see the car. And what we realised is, if you tap the window, the dog would get really excited and start pissing. So of course we're running around the car, tapping the car, and this dog's excited. He's fucking pissing everywhere in Chev's car. There must have been 6 or 7 of us that knew about it and would do it every day. His car must have stunk of dog piss. It was literally figure-eighted or.
There's a lot of funny memories from that nick. Was you there that time when we was all in the nick and Big Dave was on the reception and this bloke walked in with a bomb, a World War II bomb. Said, I've just dug this up in my car.
So we brought it to the police station.
Fucking hell! Everybody else! Just brought it to the nick and wanted to hand it in. I just thought, Jesus Christ. I know. He took it up in his backyard.
That was a place like no other.
Yeah.
I think one of the bobbies that worked there, they've had their Christmas do, and one of them put about that police station, and everybody answered, I'd go back in a heartbeat to that.
Yeah. There was some good people there. I say good people, some absolute legends there. But that area...
You didn't want to shift from that area to come out and arrest you?
No. But the thing is that they were all big lads, weren't they? And they were no-nonsense coppers, which, unfortunately, there's not enough of now. But it was an area of, just for people listening, of ex-mining villages, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the people there policed themselves a lot of the time.
If you got a call, it was because it was deserved, wasn't it?
Yeah. Most of the time you didn't hear about anything, but if you got a call there, it was serious. And there was this. It was just a pack mentality of coppers. Through every shift, everybody got on. Everybody had each other's back.
Yeah.
And
this is
shit got done.
Yeah, and this is going to give the game away a hell of a lot now. But they had a ball game once every year.
Yeah.
And that's where most of the like the beef between two people got settled,
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
would absolutely smash each other to bits, and you know, and some of the lads. I mean, some of the lads that I used to chase after in that area, I play golf with now.
Yeah.
You know, cracking lads.
Because I got respect for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Well,
of the
got
way you
respect
dealt.
for them as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is it. It's, you know, I've bumped into a few lads that I used to nick all the time when they were kids, but because of the way I dealt with them and because of the way our relationship built, and they'd come round the corner and I'd be stood there and they'd go, oh,
Oh
no.
shit! You're going back to your dad.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going home, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Instead of locking them up and stuff, was because, you know, that pays dividends in the end. Because, you know, if I do occasionally go to the pub with, you know, for a celebration or kids or whatever, with the kids, they'll be in there. They'll buy me a pint. Neil, how are you? Right, you know, and you can't put a price on that.
No.
And you can't teach it either now, anyway.
Yeah, the discretion went out of policing a long time ago, didn't it?
Massive,
Where you could
massive,
go, right,
massive.
you've got a little bit of this, we'll sort that out, but I'm taking you back.
Yeah.
You know, that went
Yeah.
went with the 3 detections they wanted every. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
had to get 3 detections. I said we're going to discipline you.
Yeah. It's
Well, you're
ridiculous.
just criminalising people for the sake of getting your detections.
Yeah. Yeah, it never stopped me. I mean, you know, I think finding a lad with a bit of weed, I'd take him home, give him to the old man and say, you deal with it. Because, you know, next time I might have to.
Yeah.
if
You
he
don't want to
doesn't-
criminalise someone for such a.
Of course you don't.
Nah.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. But there's plenty of good stories throughout our careers.
I'll
Especially-
compile a list and see how many you remember of them for the next time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think we should have a session where we just go through them.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to get off your chest or talk about in a minute?
No, not really. I think I'm good. I've enjoyed it. It's had a good laugh,
I think it's important to talk.
and it definitely brings back some good memories because the people we work with, I honestly think, great.
Yeah, to say I miss them?
Well, how many people are you in contact with?
No. You?
And I probably have messages or texts off half a dozen. No, as soon as I left, no Christmas dues. You don't get invited on them, you know. But out of
when-
sight, out of mind, aren't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, when we first joined, we'd take, and this was the people that taught us, we'd take, you know, boxes of fruit and veg to the old boys who had left, who were sat in a bungalow on their own.
Yeah.
You know, the old coppers that were had done their time and were retired. You'd turn up at their house at Christmas and you'd give them a bottle of whiskey, or you'd give them
Yeah.
and we were taught that.
Go in the stoot and get him a brandy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, it's such a shame that all that's gone. But I think the society we live in today is just such a flaky snowflake,
Yeah.
fucking load of bollocks. You know, that's
The
too
la-
deep.
The last time we had to call the police out to a pub, there was a scuffle, and 5 bobbies turned up. And I'll tell you now, if you would have put them up like dominoes, you could have knocked them all in one go. And they were turning up, and some of the people down there, like you say, it's an old mining village. So we go, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yeah.
Whereas 20 years ago, if the shift turned up, you go, and they're all getting their pegs out.
Yeah. Was you there that night on that van when we went to a working men's club fight? The whole
Yeah. Yeah.
place was fighting.
And one of these sergeants went back in for another go, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. The whole pub, there must have been 50 people fighting.
If you want him, come and get him was basically the...
That's right.
Yeah.
So we all went in, and then we were all back outside again.
Yeah.
It was
And then he
like,
went back in again.
the fuck? What's happened? And it was just like, you just had to go in like a windmill, didn't you? And just
Yeah.
like, you know,
A bit
whoa.
of milling.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, that sticks out. That does. The Scottish sergeant. He wanted another go, didn't he?
yeah, he went back in. Yeah, that's what he do. He's fucking coming out. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
he
fair
did though.
enough.
He came out.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. He's, but them characters are just absolute legends, and it's such a shame, such a you know, and the people that we've lost are turning their graves if they knew they were that dedicated to policing. They were that dedicated to making sure that the communities were looked after. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame because that's, in my opinion, gone a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it probably ain't going to come back anytime soon, is it? People want to see a Bobby on the beat.
Yeah, I know, but for the wrong reasons, really. I think. But it's great to see a copper walking around, but I can't remember that. I think the last copper I was seen walking around the beat was myself walking past the shop window.
Cake shop.
Greg's. Right.
Yeah, I've got to go. I need a Ginsters.
No. Yeah.
Probably still got some
I
down.
miss McDonald's breakfast though.
Yeah.
Never mind. Mate, it's been great talking to you. I know it's been a long time since I've seen you. And just to get out and have a chat and just have you round my house, just having a cup of tea and a chat means the world to me, mate.
Yeah, back at you, mate. And it you know, you're out of sight, out of mind, aren't you? So
Yeah.
you do need to get out, and you do need to go and watch The Vile.
Yeah. I've got my little man cave.
It's not the same as being at Villa Park, though, is it? Even if it is a shithole.
No, it isn't.
It is.
It isn't. You know
It's
what
full
I'm
of
talking
brummies.
about. Hang on. Remind me of the league at the minute.
I need a Ginsters.
Yeah, just point that out. Where was you born?
What?
Where was you born?
I can't tell you because it's on here.
Oh, all right then. Area, Midlands?
Yeah.
Midlands. And you're a Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lifelong.
Enough said.
And Tamworth.
Oh, that's all right then.
I love the Mighty Lambs. I love the Mighty Lambs.
We'll have to go down there, mate, and watch the Mighty Lambs. Because they're doing well at the minute, aren't they?
Cheers, bud.
Absolute pleasure, Chris. I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon.
As you can see and hear, Neil and Chris had some good years together as officers. However, as with any job, you lose touch and get tangled up in your own world, as we all have busy lives or struggles to contend with. Both ex-officers really enjoyed talking about their careers and funny exploits. They also found it helpful, as with all officers I have spoken to and interviewed, that mentally it is good to talk with someone, especially if they understand your story. If you have a story or want to share your true experiences, please get in touch via the website or other media sites shown. Please remember to like, follow and subscribe for new releases and content. As usual, thanks for listening.